There are many different types of storytellers, and there are those of us who are able to tell it from the head, and those of us who simply love reading books. It's our nature to do so. There's no way we are going to be leaving a good story on the shelf for absolutely no reason at all. And just to prepare their minds, after me, the Scots are taking the stage. So, so today I'm going to tell you a lie. In other words, I'm going to tell you a story that is not true, otherwise known as a tall tale. And this one is specifically from Nigeria. So when it's from Nigeria, we know what it means. And it is called Masterman. Now, he's a big guy, isn't he? I would like you to imagine him in your mind as we read the story that follows. So, once there was a man who was strong. Because obviously the picture shows he was strong, isn't it? Now, when he gathered firewood, he howled twice as much as anyone else in the village. Of course, he was strong. And when he hunted, he carried home 2 antelopes at once. Did I not tell you it would be a lie? Because I'm yet to find a man who does that. Men in the room, maybe you might correct me. Now, this man's name was Shadusa and his wife's name was Shetu. One day, he said to her, "Sweetie, come here. Nataka kukuambia kitu." Now, just look at these muscles. Please do not look at mine because they might not be what you are looking for. But I must be the strongest man in the world. And from now on, just call me your husband, Masterman. But Shetu, being the wise woman she was, because of course women are wise, she was like, "Honey, I don't think that is a very good idea. Please quit your foolish boasting. No matter how strong you are, there will always be someone else stronger than you." Well, the next day, Shetu paid a visit to a neighboring village. On the walk home, she grew thirsty, so she stopped by a well. She threw in the bucket, then she pulled the rope. But though she tugged and she heaved, she could not pull that bucket up. She needed Masterman, didn't she? Well, just then a woman walked up with a baby strapped to her back. Balanced on her head was a calabash, but that is not the story. A hollow gourd for carrying water, in case you did not know. Now, Shetu said, "Hey, you'll not get water today because the bucket won't come up." The 2 women decided to help each other pull that bucket up, but they needed Masterman, didn't they? They tried, they heaved and they pulled. Wapi? Hakuna. Then the other woman was like, "Wait a minute, I have a solution." She untied her baby and set him on the ground, and then she said, "Pull up the bucket for me, Mama." And just so that you might see, she actually did say that. Do you think that the baby will be able to pull the bucket up? Ni story ya uongo. So do you think the baby will pull the bucket up? Well, the pulled up the bucket and filled his mother's calabash. Then he threw in the bucket and pulled it once more for Shetu, because he had to start with his mother, of course. Now Shetu gasped, "I don't believe it." "Oh, it's not that strange. It's not that strange," said the woman. "After all, my husband is Masterman." I'm sure the look on Shetu's face was, "But mine is Masterman first. So how is yours Masterman?" But if that is the strength of the baby, how do you think the other Masterman looks like? When Shetu got home, she told Shadusa what had happened. "Masterman?" yelled Shadusa. "He can't call himself that. I am the only Masterman in this village. I will have to teach that fellow a lesson." "Oh, husband, please don't," pleaded Shetu, "because if the baby is so strong, think about how the father must be like. You'll get yourself killed." "We'll see about that," said Shadusa, and he left, because at this point most men are not wise. It is not me, it is the book. The next morning, Shadusa set out early and walked till he came to the well. He himself threw in the bucket. I am sure he wanted to test the waters. Now, then he pulled on the rope, but though he tugged and he heaved, he could not lift the bucket. Just then, the woman with the baby walked up. Shadusa said, "Wait a minute. What do you think you are doing?" "I am getting water, of course," answered the woman. "Well, you can't. The bucket won't come up." And this is Masterman talking. The woman set down the baby, who quickly pulled up the bucket and filled his mother's calabash. Wah! Wouldn't you be surprised as well? I am Masterman and a baby is defeating me. How did he do that? It is easy when your husband is Masterman. Shadusa gulped and thought about going home, but instead he thrust out his chest. You know, men, we don't like to be defeated, sindio? He threw out his chest, akapiga kifua kidogo, akasema, "Oya, I want to meet this fellow so I can show him who's the real Masterman." I'm not sure about you, but how do you think that story will end? Interesting. Now, "Oh, I wouldn't do that," said the woman. He devours men like you. But anyway, suit yourself. So Shadusa followed the woman back to her compound. Inside the fence was a gigantic fireplace, and besides it was a pile of huge bones. "What is all this?" asked Shadusa. "Well, you see, our heart is so small that my husband must come out here to eat his elephants." And you still want to fight him, right? You do. You're going to win that war. Men in the room, if you're going to fight that war, say, "Oh yeah." Just then they heard a great roar, so loud that Shadusa covered his ears. Then the ground began to shake until Shadusa could hardly stand. You still want to fight that man? The yeses are going down. "What's that?" he shouted. The woman said, "Guy, that is my husband, the Masterman." Wait, Yani. Anyway, well, Shadusa, you aren't fooling. You are not kidding. You mean you are serious? I've got to get out of here. But the die has already been cast. How do you think that war is going to go? Are we still going to fight this war? "It's too late now," said the woman. "But let me hide you. By the fence were some large clay pots, each as tall as a man, for storing grain." She helped him climb into one, then set the lid in place. Shadusa raised the lid a crack to peek out. Are we still going to fight this guy?
Oh, yes.
Well, and there, coming into the compound, was Masterman, carrying a dead elephant across his shoulders. I'm sure it only weighs 30 kilograms. Because elephants in Africa are small, right? Now, the woman asked, "Hey, sweetie, did you have a good day, dear?" "Well, yes," said Masterman, but I forgot my bows and arrows. I had to kill the elephant with my bare hands. You still want to fight that man? The Norse are more. Now, as Shadusa watched in terror, the man built a huge fire in his fireplace, roasted the elephant, and devoured every bit of it but the bones. Suddenly, he stopped and sniffed. Na kuna kitu hapa? Si kunayo? Kuna mwanaume mwingine kwa hii boma, si ndio? I'm very sure a man would probably be having a worse look. Si ndio? Oh, there is no man here now, said the wife. One passed by a while ago. That must be the smell you feel. Si ndio? Well, too bad, thundered Masterman. He would have been tasty. Kasnak hapo kando. Now, then he rolled over on the ground, and before long, the leaves trembled from his nose. The woman hurried over to the pot and slid off the lid. Quick, she said to Shadusa, please get away while you can. Toka, enda, mbio. Shadusa did not wait. He leaped out and bolted down the path, but he hadn't gone too far when he heard a giant roar. Mwanaume ameamuka. And felt the ground beneath him tremble. Masterman is coming. Shadusa ran till he came upon 5 farmers farming. One called, Oya, what's the hurry? Shadusa, still running, said, it's Masterman, he's after me. Take it easy, said the farmer. We won't let anyone hurt you. Just then, they heard a terrible roar, and the farmers all dropped their weapons and ran. You'd still fight that war, right? Now, the farmer asked, well, what was that? That was Masterman. Please run for your lives. Well, you better keep running. And the farmers did run. They ran very fast. Shadusa ran on until he met 10 potters carrying bundles. What's your hurry, Masterman? Is after me, the potter said. Relax, no one can beat all 10 of us. Sisi ni wanaume. Hatushindi nguvu, si ni ukweli? Just then, the ground quaked so hard that they all bounced into the air. The potters fell in a heap, all mixed up with their bundles. The potter asked, what was that? That was Masterman. Then run for your life, and they all took off. See, we still want to fight that war. Hey, okay, fine. Now, Shadusa ran until he rounded a bend, and then he stopped short. There beside the path was a stranger, and there beside the stranger lay another huge pile of elephant bones. What's your hurry? Growled the stranger. Masterman is after me, shouted Shadusa. Well, considering this is Shadusa and this is the stranger, do you really want to fight that war? Yes, we do, don't we? Now, you better not say so, cause I am Masterman. Who else is calling himself Masterman? From behind Shadusa came another roar, and once again he bounced into the air. The stranger caught him in one hand as Masterman ran out. Let me have him! They start fighting over him. Do you want to fight that war? We still want to fight that war. Well, I would not be caught in that war. Now, come and get him, said the stranger. Masterman lunged, but the stranger tossed Shadusa into a tree. Then the 2 strong men wrapped themselves around each other and wrestled across the ground. Whom do you think is going to win? Which Masterman? They are all Mastermen. Now, the noise of the battle nearly deafened Shadusa. The dust choked him. The trembling of the tree nearly shook him down. As Shadusa watched, the 2 men struggled to their feet, still clutching each other. Then each gave a mighty leap, and together they rose into the air, higher and higher. They went till they passed out of sight into the clouds. Shadusa waited and waited and waited until he finally could see none of them, and he ran home. As for the other two, they are still in the clouds fighting, and I'm sure you know them. Do you know them? Who are they? I didn't hear you. Thank you. In Africa, when we could not understand anything, we used to find a tall tale to explain the phenomenon. Hope you enjoyed the story. My name is Emily. Karibuni, asante.
Thank you.